Hi, everyone. So, this is a reading mini lesson, our first of the year, and this is called Reasons for Reading. And so, before we get started, I'm going to tell you a quick story. So, I have a teacher friend who I used to work with when I taught fifth and sixth grade at intermediate school, and her name is Mrs. Boyer. And Mrs. Boyer and I are friends on Facebook. And recently, Mrs. Boyer posted a question on Facebook that asks, when do you read and for what purpose? She was trying to get a better understanding of all of the reading we daily do in our lives. And that really got me thinking that a lot of times when I ask you guys, students, about reading, I hear things like, it's boring, I don't like to read, I don't like books, I can't find books that I like. And I think to myself, reading isn't only about reading books. We do reading every day, whether we think about it or not. And so, all of these people were commenting on her post from different jobs, from police officers to military people to nurses to other teachers to even students that she formerly had. And they were answering questions about when they read and for what purpose. And so, what I did here is I compiled a bunch of their answers. And so, what I'm going to ask you to do is to look at some of the answers that people gave to get a perspective on how reading looks different in everybody's life. Reading isn't only about picking up a novel, reading is about having those daily skills to do basic things that you don't even think about on a day to day basis. So, looking at our screen here, I'm reading some of the things that people answered, and I'm thinking about them in a way that makes me wonder, oh, how did I miss that? So, for example, someone here said that they read recipes. I spent a lot of time cooking, learning how to cook over the quarantine. And so I didn't even realize that I actually spent a lot of time reading. This person talks about reading music. This person likes to read to their grandson before bed. This person, it's clear that they've got a medical job because they have to read and memorize different medical protocols to be able to diagnose and treat people with medical issues. This person here has to read emails from customers and contracts with those customers to make sure they're meeting the expectations of their job. This person here, they read about like a vacation destination online to learn about what that place has to offer so that when they go on vacation there, they're prepared to do all the fun stuff that that place, has in store. Down here, see, they're kind of overlapping a bit. I'll fix that. This person looks like they read blogs and Reddit. I read a lot of Reddit, um, Facebook posts, different forums. This ER nurse, they're talking about having to read charts and diagrams and graphs. Here's someone in the military who has to read maps. This person is a defense attorney. They have to read documents that pertains to their client so that they could create the best defense. And I was even thinking every day when I'm driving, I'm reading signs to know which way I'm going. Ultimately, we're reading all day, whether we really think about it or not. And so, what this assignment is going to ask you to do is reflect on this concept of reading being bigger than books. And so, what I'm going to ask you to do for this assignment here is I want you to go through and take a really good look at all of these examples here. Make this a little better here. There we go. All of these examples that are provided to you about different times that people on my friend Miss Boyer's post read and for what purpose. And I want you to start thinking, when do you read? Are you reading when you're playing a video game? Are you reading when you are outside with your friends, headed somewhere to play basketball? We have to think about those things that we wouldn't normally consider. And so, again, your step one for this assignment is to go through and make sure that you've read and understood all of these different answers that were provided on my friend's Facebook post. Then what you're going to do is you're going to open up our assignment. And this is our assignment here. And it's called a reading mini lesson, Reasons for Reading Self-Reflection. It's basically preparing you to interact with some of these responses that were given and then start to think about your own reading life. So, looking at the directions, it's telling you to please write your answers to the questions below using complete sentences. So, I don't want answers like no or I don't know. They need to be complete and full sentences in order to receive credit. And then it also asks you to change your font to a different color. So what we will do is we will take, every time we answer a question, we're just going to make sure that we're changing our font color to something else. Okay? And that just helps me be able to read your answer easily and grade it. Now the questions are going to ask is, after reading each of the reasons for reading in our mini lesson, what do you think these responses are trying to tell us about reading? And then you're going to put your answer there. Then you'll move down, and the second question is asking you to think about a specific job that you're interested in the future, and start to think about what reading you might have to do for that specific job. Number 3, what types of reading do you do outside of school that isn't related to books? So again, you're not only reading what other people had to say, but now you have to start thinking about how you read a lot outside of school without actually reading books. Then it's going to ask you to ask your friends for help, your friends and family, whoever you have near you that could help you with this. It wants you to ask them that question. What kinds of reading do you do? And for what reason? And fill in 3 more bubbles with new answers that we're essentially adding to our list here. And then I'm not going to go through every question, but I see that you're probably getting the idea that what you're doing is you're using this template here and these answers about reasons why people read to start thinking about your own self and connecting to it in a way that you can answer these questions about your reading habits. Okay? Please make sure that you're following the directions closely, answering all the questions that are being asked of you, changing your font color, and checking your work, spelling, capitalization, and grammar before submitting. Now, please remember, I'm not going to be available the next 2 days to meet with you in a Google Meet. So you're going to have to work on this on your own. Do the best you can and use this video and any other resources available to you to answer your questions. Good luck, you guys. I'll see you in a couple of days.